Great to see you again. Let's get started. I'll put the chat in the right place. Okay. Hello, everyone. Shooting Star, Sarat, I like chess, Freya, and so on. Great to see everyone again. Rohan and Panda and yes, Erkat, Lily, and so on. We will start a new topic today. You haven't been here in months. Okay, good to see you back then. So new topic, Liren's games, right? Fantastic player. Let me add it here. And I wanted to show you, if you look at the video very quickly, this book I have been reading lately. Fantastic book about Ding Liren, written by Croatian Grandmaster Kuljasevic. I can recommend this book one more time. Here it is. And I also have many games and so on by Ding collected on my own, which I have always followed him. Great player. Exactly, Davorin Kuljasevic. So let's get started. I thought we could start with some tactics, and later on we can move into endgames, and later a little about strategy and openings and so on. Yeah, a little of everything. So yeah, interesting position, by the way. I don't know what's going on in this position. Looks familiar, this somehow. We looked at this last time, right? It's somebody's game. Someone's games. It was Sarthak's game, right? Yeah, exactly. This was very entertaining, this battle. This pawn, we were trying to approach it, but white was winning, I think, in some way. Knight f5 was strong. Anyway, I'm sorry, Sarthak. Yeah, we will move on to Ding Liren now, but we will probably come back to you at some point. In the next thematic tournament, perhaps, and so on. Small steps to giant improvement. Okay, Hare Krishna with white, Ding Liren with the black pieces. Interesting endgame. Now we're playing with the black pieces. You can see that white has a very active king now. Nice active king. But you never know. There are still a few pieces left on the board. And obviously, we always need to be a bit careful. Yeah, hi, Jack. Yeah, great to see you. So what happened here is that Hare Krishna was not careful. He played a very logical move, looking for piece improvement. He played at this point rook f2. And I'm interested in how you think that Ding Liren continued at this point. Yeah, we will play out, let's say, 3 moves here. Okay, good luck, everybody. Try to find what was the downside to Hare Krishna's previous move. You could call this instant exploitation, when you take advantage of the opponent's previous move. Chess art, we have a first winner here. Freya, congratulations. Kind King Sam, good point. Oh, interesting move. Rook b3. I can't calculate that. Rook takes, pawn takes, king takes e7. What are you doing next? Rook takes e5. Oh, of course. Sorry, my brain is very slow. I see. Interesting. Yeah, why didn't he play that? Well, probably because he saw something better. So what would I play on rook b3? Yeah, very good point. We will have to discuss this briefly. What might have been his objection to rook b3? I can't find a single move for white in that position. Yeah, that's crazy. We had more winners. Jazz and IS and Kan King Sam and Rohan and Panda, Erkat, we shall win Kan King Sam. So please, Erkat, you're right in front of me. Tell me, what did the great Ding Liren play here? Bishop h4. So very smart move, bishop h4. It couldn't be played before, of course, because the pawn was hanging on c5. But the moment white's rook left, the black bishop also leaves, and you can see that apart from hitting the rook, we also have a dangerous threat on our side, right? If I just play some random move here, like let's say rook f8, probably that's what he had in mind, perhaps, to send the rook in this direction. Yeah, what would you play in that case? Where are you, Erkat? Of course, like we say, clearance, right? One piece clears a square for another, rook e7, exactly. And think I'm losing a pawn and I'm losing a piece, right? How would you take on e5? Anyone? Don't say rook takes e5, we shall win. You have to be more specific. But this is the right move, yeah, rook d takes e5. Why is that the right move? Because after king f4, we can skewer the white pieces, no, I think. Or no? Exactly. I don't know, can I go king g4? Would this be a way to stay alive? I don't think so, no? You might have an intermediate move or something. Rook e4 or bishop e1, exactly. Bishop e1 is actually quite smart now, also. But rook e4 should also be a good move. Yeah. Although I could come back with the king maybe. Aha. Maybe just take on e3. I agree, and we just cash in the endgame. Maybe we don't need to make it so complex now. This is probably enough. So yeah, that's what happened in the game. Rook f2, very unfortunate move. Bishop h4, and he played in the game rook f7 to stop rook e7, and then it was quite simple. Now we take, and he went on to win this game later. He brought in the king and the pawn and so on. So nice. I'm happy that many of you saw this opportunity of bishop h4, but now we need to talk briefly about rook b3, because that looks really strong now, rook b3. So if rook takes, oh, you're talking about identities and things like that. This looks like it's very bad for white. So Sharat says we should go back with the rook. You're most likely right, Sharat. That has to be what he thought. Aha. I don't know. This looks interesting, Sharat. Rook did no, but my bishop is hanging. Yeah. So I guess things become a little more complex here. Bishop f8. Maybe you could play. Could you play king f? No. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to play here. Bishop f4 perhaps, and then try to play king f7 or something like that. But black is pushing in this position. Yeah, I couldn't see the tactics here, Sharat, if I could take on. I think you're right. Yeah, we can take on f8 and take on c5. So I guess we can agree on that, right? We can agree on this then. Rook b3 is very interesting, but the other way was probably more convincing. Okay, we will do the quiz very quickly again, okay? We'll do the quiz very, very quickly, and then we can continue. There we go. So those of you who want to play rook b3, beware that white could answer, like Sharat said, rook fc2, and it's not so easy to progress. Okay, we have tons of winners here. Who was fastest? Can King Sam, Teddy, Goldfish, Steve, Sharat, Chesort, Panda, Sarthak, Freya, Jazz, Jack Boyer, Yugoslavian Princess. Okay, Panda, you're on. What was your conclusion here with the black pieces? Bishop h4, we're making way for the rook to go to e7. If I try to activate my rook, things end in a bad way. I wanted to play rook e7, but I thought rook f7. Yeah, we just talked about that like 2 minutes ago, that this is what happened in the game, and black was winning. So we were just saying that we wanted to see what happens if white plays something like this. Yeah, it's worse, of course, you will say, you take the pawn. Okay, I guess we know enough about this. We will continue. I'll give you a really easy one, which was in Kulyashevic's book. Let's see. You will find this one in like 10 seconds, some of you, if you do puzzle rush tactics and so on. So why to play and win, guys? I will do this very quickly before you give away the answer in the chat, okay? There are 2 ways to win in the end. 2 ways to win in the end. Don't give away the answer, please. Don't give away the answer. Don't spoil other people's fun. There you go. I'll give you only 1 minute because I know you're very good with these tactics. Yeah, well, I won't give away information, but if you push that pawn, I will go for it. No, I will protect my knight, and then I will go for the pawn. I know how I can protect that knight. Okay, we have winners here. Panda, Kan King Sam, Rohan, Jong Dial. I will protect that bishop, and then I will go for the pawn. Erkat, that looks like a very complicated. Erkat and Pop Fischer, that's too much tactical gunpowder, no? Not sure exactly how that's going to work. I might decline the sacrifice in the very end if necessary. Okay, we had more winners. Rohan, Lily, Sharat, grilled cheese, goldfish. And Jack Bodger, it's fine what you said, Jack and John Sam. That's the B solution, which he didn't choose, but it was perfectly fine also. Yeah, I guess he was not happy about ED and... Yeah, good question. I can't really tell you. Maybe he thought his king was safer if you keep the knight instead. If you keep the bishop instead. Please, Goldfish, you can show us. Where is Goldfish? Here. All right. So we understand we have a passed pawn on h6, 6 which could advance. If you play something like that, I'm hoping I can play like that and then bring the rook to attack the pawn. Even then, of course, white is probably better here, but we have a first win, which is what Goldfish is after here. Bishop takes. Aha. Again, if you play h7 here, I hope I can play e5 and then try to send the rook over. White might be winning, but it's always nice if we can be as effective as possible. And this is certainly effective. So this was Ding Liren's little combination. Please continue, Goldfish. Aha. That's right, knight e5. So those of you who played bishop d5, I think this is perfectly fine. Was there maybe the move b4? It's crazy to play like that, of course, but my point is that if you queen, I do this, and you queen, and I go up with the king. Of course, white should be winning now, but it's not as clear-cut as the other one, I think. It's very clear-cut. Yeah, scary, I don't think so, no, but white should be winning. I guess you take and you put your rook on, queen on f8 maybe or something. Yeah, this is the risk, right, that there is something with, like, the diagonal opens up or so on. It probably won't happen. You can liberate your king in this way, maybe. Exactly, Rohan. So that's what we're saying, that, okay, white might be winning. The computer might say +5 or anything. But still, we have some work left to do. If we can avoid that extra work, it's nice, of course. So knight e5 was played by Ding and also by Goldfish. So if I take Goldfish just to finish off this variation, exactly. And now, as we can see, that is not the same potential. Now I have the bishop on the board and you can't take it. So here I think it's very, I mean, if I'm playing myself here, I would check you and I would play rook d2 and I will try to take on b2. But I mean, you must be winning here in some way. Yeah, anyone? You get a new queen, I think, right? Queen d8 or something. Yeah, oh, that's very smart, maybe, to take that pawn. Yeah, my slow brain could only see queen here and take and so on. I mean, we can maybe they can get one queen, but we have two queens, which is more fun than one queen, right? So anyway, I'm happy that everybody saw this. Great that everybody noticed the idea. Let's do the quiz very, very quickly. And then I think we're good to continue. So nice tactic by Ding Liren. I think we can leave it like that. Okay. Why not rook takes d4 first? Rook takes d4 first. You'll have to explain that, we shall win. I don't know at which moment you mean. And you play differently when you answered, I can see. You played like we said. But sure, it's always interesting to study move orders and things like that. Okay, please, shooting stars, what did you do with white here? Aha, we take, black took back, we want to push this pawn, but we first remove the defenders against the passed pawn, and once they are ready to come back with the rook, we block the rook so that it can't come back. We obstruct the rook and there is no way we can stop the pawn. If you have a passed pawn, you win, exactly. Okay, I'm just curious, we shall win. Why not? No, bishop d5 was okay, also princess. We just said it was more complex if you play like that. We shall win. Why not rook takes d4 first? Rook takes d4 here? Or when do you want to play rook takes d4? I don't understand. You mean here? I just don't want to have any confusion. I will take with a bishop in that case. And you take back. Okay, so basically you get back to the same variation, right? But maybe you have to analyze. No, there is nothing else to be analyzed. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing then. We shall win. If you want to play like that, sure, you could do exactly the same thing. Yeah, but c5, that is bishop e5, right? So it's not, it's not going to work for black anyway. So, okay, if you want to play like that, it's probably possible as well. We will continue now. Let's take another tactic. Ding Liren, you would say, great calculation in general, very strong calculation, which shows in these kind of situations. So Ding with white and MVL with the black pieces. MVL played here the move a2. We don't need to think too much about what's black's threat here, but it's Ding to move. And please try to get the final part right, okay? Please try to get the last part right. I'll give you 1 minute and 15, okay? But don't send me the moves instantly, please. Wow. How would that work, by the way? Interesting idea. Yeah, we have a winner, Kiro Tori. Congratulations. You have found it. Interesting. I didn't see that solution, the one that you're presenting. But maybe that works also. Don't I have like queen f6 or you calculated that? I don't see the mate there in that line, but maybe there is one. Yeah. Okay, we will come to that, I guess. We will come to that. So many of you wanted to sacrifice like that. Only Kirotori, Rohan, and Erkat played like the great Liren. So I will presume that there is a second solution then, since everybody is saying that. Okay. Interesting. Queen g4. Interesting move, I understand. I probably play queen f6 there. Those of you who wanted to play queen g4. I play queen f6. Are you mating me somehow? Let's check with Kirotori. You're the fastest one, so you deserve to be picked, please. Oh, okay, we'll come to that, Rohan. Thanks for your information. So this is what everybody wanted to play. I thought I could simply play queen f6 here. Is that what you're saying also, Rohan? No, you're saying something else. Queen f8 you're saying. No, but queen f8, I think they go rook g8 and then you can't take because they take and they mate you, right? Somebody said this? Yeah, just said this. So I think I'm gonna play queen f6 here. So tell me, guys, where is the mate here? Queen e8. Oh, that's the mate, but not mate yet, right? I have bishop f8 still, or no? Everybody understands that when the rook starts moving, black gets some options on this side, right? So rook g8, king h7. If queen h5, we're blocking again, right? I think. Queen h5, we're trying to block again. And I don't see white's follow up. Careful, you might blow a winning position here, or no? At least you get the draw. Where is the draw? I don't see the draw. Not here, right? No evident draw as far as I can see. Yeah, rook g8 was probably not correct. Yeah, here you have a draw maybe if you play queen h5. Well, I'm saying maybe because I don't see this so clearly. If I go queen h6, you go rook check and I go here. Oh, no, now you're mating me, of course. Yeah. No, I can't play like that. Good point. I need to use the bishop then. Aha. So queen f7 also works. Queen f7 also works there. Yeah, sure. But here, to win with white, bishop f7. If bishop f7 here, I'm leaning towards rook b1, just to stop rook g8. Although I don't even know what was the threat there. Maybe we're talking about different positions here. What did he mean? Oh, sorry. Let's see again. Queen e8, bishop f8, and bishop f7. If I go queen e7 and I try to trade queens, what do you have on that? Yeah, I mean, this is not a concern for me that I lose the bishop since I'm queening on the other side, and I even have some ideas like maybe rook takes f2 and check white if white goes up. So I'm not completely convinced by this variation. Pawn Patrol insists with this variation. All right. We're here to find out things. So Pawn Patrol, you want to play? Oh, queen g7. Yeah, smart move, Teddy. I understand. And then you just take back with the king and then it's my turn to have some fun. Aha, I understand. Nice. Bishop f5, it's not here, I guess, right? Yeah. Should we leave this variation, or there is somebody who would like to continue looking at rook takes h6? If we cannot find out this moving the pieces, it can't be easy for Ding either at the board, right? We continue. Yeah, I think so. So from all the other moves, queen g4 was proposed, exploiting the pin. I was hoping I could use my queen to defend in this way. Yeah, not clear. Pawn Patrol means first bishop f5. You mean like in this position here? And if I then go rook b1? What am I missing now? Rook g6. Rook g6 right now? It's difficult when we are saying different variations at the same time. I'm looking at what Sharat has to say. Queen f6 and rook g8. Yeah, and king h7. Rook g6. Yeah, so I think if you do this, we're gonna do this sacrifice, right? This sacrifice is coming. I'm guessing now that this is Black's idea. Maybe this move can also be investigated. I don't know. Isn't that like an easy win if I play like that and I send the queen over, maybe? He meant bishop f5. This move, bishop f5, is like a ghost in this conversation. It comes up all the time, but I never understand when you want to play it. Here, this is the moment. We have arrived at the magical moment of bishop f5. Or what? And I play rook b1. I don't understand. Yeah, maximum a draw, right? Or what? Yeah, I don't understand. When I play rook b1, apart from queening, the point is, of course, that I managed to immobilize your rook. So I think it's time to continue now. Kiro Tori, you were showing us the solution. Please go ahead, Kiro, and show us again. Okay. So the first nice thing about this move is that if they go rook b1, I think you saw the move here, right, Kiro? A move which combines attack and defense. Attack and defense? Rook t1, exactly. Extremely smart. So we can mate them on the next move. Or we could maybe do something else here. Yeah, I don't know. Queen. If they play queen f6, for instance. There should be multiple choices in this position. But we can pick one. Queen g4, says Rohan. That looks smart. Queen's mate, and if rook takes, we take back, and we have an extra piece. Yeah, very practical choice by Rohan. I must say that I was tempted to take on b1 simply, but your move is, of course, 1,000 times better. All right, they took in the game, MVL took on g7. And we should, of course, check from this angle. Yeah, we don't have any other checks, by the way. And king h7 makes little sense. Yeah, so the king went to f8. And here some of you wanted to play, looked at this beautiful move. If you look at Liren's games, you will see a lot of these smart tactics like that. If you play like that, some of you wanted to play like that. I don't know what comes out of this. Are you winning in this position? Or it's a draw maybe, or what? You have to repeat, right? I don't think you can do anything else here in this case. And I also have to repeat, else I get mated, yeah. So I repeat, I guess I go to f8 and you go back and we make a draw. So that did not happen in the game because Ding and Kiro Tori and Rohan and Erkat, you noticed the move. Rook f5. Extremely smart. We are deflecting the knight from the g8 square. If I take, hi Chesart. So if I take, I get mated in two moves, right, Kiro Tori? Exactly. Beautiful mate. And on the other hand, if I move my king away, king here, you mate me anyway. Yeah, you invade with the queen, I presume. Right, exactly. So I must say it's a very nice combination, and looking at this great book, I found more example of this kind. So yeah, very strong in calculation, Liren. Nothing is impossible for this player. So okay, here we go again. We do the quick requiz so that everybody gets this right and we can continue. Okay. Yeah, he was not in good shape in the last World Championship match. You could say that. But okay, that's life. You need to be in the best shape in the best events and so on. We had many winners here. Sharat and Fianchetto and Pawn Patrol, Goldfish, Happy Pawn, Teddy Door, Jazz and Hyper Strength. Fastest, by the way, was who was fastest here? Rohan was fastest. Dada Apple was also very fast. Please, Pawn Patrol. All right. What did you play here? Oh yeah, I misclicked. Sorry, we shall win. I misclicked. My bad. But so many of you got it right anyway. So yeah, I just clicked on the wrong button. Queen g1 after this nice sacrifice, and we sack rook for the second time in this game, second exchange sacrifice, which means that we are winning. And I should of course ask you, just to make sure we're on the same page here, I should of course ask you, if I play here rook b1, Happy Pawn, what would you play in this position? Oh, they got you already, rook e1. And if I take on d1, Happy Pawn, just to make sure that we're on the same page. Aha, beautiful, mate. So nice. We will continue. We'll take another game where he's playing against a really top player. Let's see if you can figure this out. So if you make like a brief evaluation of this evaluation here, anyone? Would you rather be white or black here? Who is the move, you'll say? Rook d8 and we're winning. White, yeah, everybody wants to be white. You can see one thing that stands out here is king safety. We don't even count the pawns. We're actually down one pawn, but this bishop is a giant now. The bishop on c3, there is no opposing bishop. So Mamedyarov, he did the best he could. He played here knight f6. All right, guys, how do you finish off the work here if you're Ding Liren? Yeah, okay, I'll play out the whole variation here like that. I think 115 will be enough. Make sure to do candidate moves. Exactly, Princess, greatly weakened. Do candidate moves, please, at the very beginning, candidate moves. Don't go for the most evident move, please. Yeah, I have an evil trap there, Lily, and we shall win if you were going to take my queen. Mamedyarov, he had prepared something, just that it didn't work against Ding Liren. Yeah, you'll have to show me later, Jack and Panda and grilled cheese. How did you intend to make that work? I think you're falling into my only trap. Okay, Kiro and Freya and Yugoslav, I take back. And what do you have next? You'll have to explain. Rook h1, interesting move by Happy Pawn. Please notice, Happy Pawn, I might be able to trade bishops and bring my queen to f5. If I bring my queen to f5, I don't have to worry about bishop takes f6 anymore, right? We got no winners. That doesn't happen very often nowadays. And nobody even gets the first move. Is that really so? I can't believe my eyes. I don't have a single winner. We will have to do a requiz. Yeah, we will. But, you know, I like to talk a little about the move that you said. So, bishop takes f6. Those of you who said this, you were probably already counting on victory, no? That I would take and you would take my, sorry, mouse slip. You would take my queen and blah, blah, blah. But that's not exactly Rohan. Aha, this is the problem that Ding Liren fortunately noticed. Yeah, so please don't sing before you cross the river, or what would you say? It's never over until it's over. Bishop takes f6 is tempting, but it doesn't really work. And you can see here also that this tactic is very useful for black to... Exactly, Teddy. Yeah, you're reading my mind, or I'm reading your mind. Aha. So bishop takes f6 is not completely convincing. Bishop takes e6, queen takes e6. Those of you who said this, I don't see exactly the next move here. My king is gonna stay on g7, and I have some counter-attacking possibilities. Queen h6. You mean in this position, or you mean in the neutral position? This is hard to understand, this move. I can maybe take, and I always have this resource, queen f. The other one. You want to play queen h6 here? Okay. Honestly, I don't really see black's problem here. I see that white's king is weak also. Yeah, what would be a convincing answer for you? Rook d7 looks tempting. Can I play that without hanging something? No, I can't do that, right? You trade and you take, and bishop takes, and queen d1 and queen. Oh, wait a little here. Could I play like this? Wake me up, guys, if I got this completely wrong, but couldn't we play something like that, and then we give this check over here? So we try to pick up the... Yeah, I think this works, right? But you're saying that you would play rook e1 in that case. Okay, but I'm happy about having seized the e file in that case. So queen f5 and king a1, back rank motif. You don't think I can exploit that somehow, that back rank motif? Or could I play queen c2? Exactly. Good move, I think, queen c2. Or no? I was thinking about this funny move also. Could I play like that, or it's a bad mistake? I just thought I could threaten rook d1. Oh, queen e4 is also a possibility. Yeah, I must say this is not convincing, no? When we find so many different moves which are interesting. Well, queen e4, maybe they will go a3 though. I don't know if this is useful really, to put your queen there. Yeah, we shall win. You said that also. Okay, you're reading my mind, or I'm reading your mind. Yeah, I don't know. Which move should we go for? Queen c2, probably. Very straightforward, and we are about to play rook d1 on the next move. Yeah, not convincing, I'm afraid. Queen h1. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful backwards move. But you lose some of your attacking potential, don't you, if you play like that? And I go like 94? Yeah, I don't know. I lost control. Yeah, why are we continuing? Exactly. It became very complex, and it's not as convincing as the game continuation. Believe me. Believe me, what he played, the game was over like in a few moves. Yeah, then we had other moves here. Yeah, rook h1 and rook f1 and g4 and rook c1, all kinds of moves. I will say that all of them are very interesting, but none is as good as the forcing line that he found in the game. So we will do the requiz now. We will do the requiz. I would advise you not to play bishop takes f6 or bishop takes e6, because we already looked at those two moves. Okay, let's do it again. I was hoping to show you the other variation. Hold on, guys. Let me just see quickly. Yeah. Of course, I should give you the other variation. Yeah. Careful. Patience, please. Patience. I'm about to finish this. Yeah, here we are. All right. Good luck, guys. There you go. John Gial, we just said that this didn't work. Maybe you are off the keyboard or something, but away from the keyboard. But we said I'll take on b3 and I'll check you on f5. Congratulations to RKDK, Sharat, and Alan. Grilled cheese, I'm hoping I can take with the bishop, right? The same for you, Kiro, Kan King Sam, and Freya. I'll take with the bishop, and I hope I can trade queens later. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm not sure. So we had more winners. Erkat, Happy Pawn, Hyper Strength, Pop Fisher. Good calculation. You got it on the second attempt. Not bad at all. We shall win. Interesting move. There must be some back rank issue with your solution. No, bishop f5 check maybe, and yeah, you might not be mating me. We shall win on pawn patrol. Maybe I can take on f6 and play queen d7, and if you check me on h8, I go to f7, right? I can go up with the king maybe. Perfect. Rohan, you also got it. Alan, you were one of the fastest. Please go ahead, Alan. How did you do this with the white pieces? Rook d6. Not so evident, if you ask me. Not one of my first 2 or 3 candidate moves, to be very honest. But it's extremely strong. What Ding Liren noticed was that in this position he could take, not with the bishop, of course. Yeah, we don't want to get mated. But he could take with the rook. And looks like if black is fine if I just retreat the bishop and I play bishop f5 next move. Unfortunately, I run into rook takes d6. Yeah, extremely beautiful, no? Or at least for me, it's very beautiful. If pawn takes, it's mating 1, and else you can continue attacking me. Yeah, we can look at this for 1 second if you like, until Alan tells us the next move here. Yeah, not so difficult, Alan. Aha, bishop b4 or queen b4, and then we can cash in. On the other hand, if black takes on f6, the problem is simply that this is a mating threat, of course. But I mean, the mating threat wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for the case that the bishop is hanging at the same time. So yeah, this is completely lost. So what some of you were saying here, I'm trying to come back to the variation. Yeah, you said rook takes f7. Yeah, so if you play rook takes f7, I think I can take with the bishop, and when you play queen f6, no, if you play queen f6, I just trade the queens, right? This is what we said, right? Queen f6. Yeah, if you play queen d5, queen d4, I think I go queen f5 check, and if you go out, I have more checks probably, no? And also I can maybe move my king, I don't know. Yeah, king c1, and I don't know, is it allowed to move the king, or did I get mated somewhere? I don't understand this completely. Or I can just make a draw with moving the queen. Yeah, much safer, of course. And sometimes there are ideas like queen d5 and so on. But there was another, yeah, exactly, the king cannot escape. There was another variation that somebody was saying, which I wanted to mention briefly. Who said that? Queen d4, is that the move you were saying? Yeah. This is what We Shall Win and Pawn Patrol and Goldfish wanted to play. So I was thinking here, Goldfish, I mean, this is a big threat. So I thought I could maybe take and play queen somewhere. Queen, no, not somewhere. I have to put the queen on d7. Did I get mated here or I did not? Yeah, you can take the pawn, of course, but maybe it's very unnecessary to do this. Yeah, but I wonder if black is really lost in this variation. They're not lost, right? I think the queen can cover. Or you saw something better, Sarat. Queen c4 is no, not here, right? Yeah, here we have not a white choice, but maybe in this position we have other things we can do. Bishop f5, I think, is better first, right? If they take, we check. No, this is the line I was talking to with We Shall Win. Aha, and you put the king somewhere and I take. This is what I wanted to play. And just put my queen here. This looks like very, very safe for black. And I just walk up the king. Yeah, exactly, Alan. And you don't lose the pawn on d6. So I think this is the better outcome here. What about rook f5? No, you can't play rook f5 because in that case, I'm taking back with check, right? I think that's what we were saying. Did we get this right? Rook takes and the bishop back. If you play queen d4 and you take on f5, I take with the queen. And this is what we just talked about, right? So great. I think we are ready to do the requiz and we can finally continue. We can finally move on. So which was the nicest variation? Yeah, I think this was the nicest variation. So we'll do that one. Okay. Yeah, you know the first move here. Princess, perfect. All right, we got many winners. One of them is Chesart. Please go ahead. We have some background noise. Yeah, great to see you, Lily. Chesart, please go ahead. Tell us how will you continue here with the white pieces. Aha, rook d6. There is no way for the bishop to. I mean, if I check you, for instance, Chesart. Yeah, it's terrible. Now you're hitting me here also. Yeah, certainly no solution. Okay, please continue, Chesart, to get done with this very quickly. If I move the bishop, it doesn't really matter where it goes. I'm getting killed anyway. Let's do yeah, We Shall Win. Get in the US chess school, chess club. Request to join. Exactly, hyper strength. Exactly. Let's move on. And I thought we should do a defense exercise also. Defense exercise. So he's very well known for his attacking skills, Ding Liren. But sometimes also he can be a very tenacious defender. And here we have one example. This is from the World Championship match. And maybe you saw this game. Gukesh played now knight e4. Very tempting move. Multiple threats. And he managed to find the only working move. The only working move. So let's see, guys, if you can figure this out also. And he heroically held this game to a draw. Okay. I'll give you 1 minute and 20. You can probably find it by the process of elimination, right? By elimination. Don't send me the moves. Look, you already sent me moves, Steven, Grilda, and Lily, and you lost the game. Or you lost the exchange, right? Or you lost the game also. No, you lost the game instantly, right? Careful, guys. Every move makes a difference. No, if you move away the queen from the e8 rook, bad things can happen to you and so on. Okay? Every move was losing except for one. Let's see, Young Jial, We Shall Win, and Freya. If you play like that, don't I have the discovery and I take on e8 and I take on c7? Alan, you're going to taste knight d6, I'm afraid, Alan, in that case. Kirotori, that smells like fork on. No, queen d5 maybe. Kirotori and company, queen d5 probably. Yeah, it's a difficult exercise. Sharat, you're very close. I think your line works also. Sharat, there is not like some knight, discovered knight move there. Knight f5, Sharat, can I play that? Knight f5 to play knight e7 on the next move. No winners. But Sarat was very close. What do you think, Sarat? I have a suggestion. You're basically the winner now, but maybe not, because there is 95 in the end. So I won't give away the answer, okay? We'll do requiz so that everybody gets a chance. I won't give away the move. We will look at all the moves that you were saying. So let's go step by step. Rook c7 was one of the most popular moves. Anyone, why would this be a bad idea? What would white play here? Knight f6. Aha. By the way, if you like, you can add a sign, like the plus sign, when giving check. In the same way, this is just a friendly advice, no? Also, X is possible when taking. You don't have to do this, it's not mandatory, but it's easier for us to understand each other if you do that. So knight f6, check. If it weren't check, probably they could take on c5. Oh, that is queen b6. Okay, so maybe you got it then, Sarat. We will come to that. Yeah, exactly. White takes on e8, and we have some kind of overloaded queen. King g7, I guess you just stay in the neighborhood of this rook, right? Like queen d6 or something. Yeah, not completely convincing, no? Rook c7. Just interrupt me if something is not clear here. Just interrupt me. If rook c7 is working and so on. But I can't say it's working, no, because the queen is overloaded. Queen f8 smells like there's going to be another problem. Anyone? What would white play here? Feel free to use the signs. Complete silence. Queen d5, exactly, it says so. You're looking for the plus sign maybe on the keyboard. Queen d5, unfortunately, this is not possible. And if I move away the king here, then we can play what princess is saying. Aha, we can play knight d6. I think this ends badly now for poor black. Something's gonna hang here, that's for sure. I mean, we can maybe take here first, but at the very least, I think it's gonna end in, well, never say never. Anyone with a sharp tactical eye? Why does white win here? Taking into account that there is mate on. Yeah, rook takes, and now we should not take this bishop due to mate. Knight f7. I think it's mate, right? Smells like mate with knight h6 and queen g8, like a bad version of the smothered mate. I mean, not bad in itself, but not as pretty as the smothered mate, of course. So yeah, good point. We have probably finished off another move here. Queen f8. Then we had queen c7. That one is easy to refute, I think. Anyone? You need to leave. Okay, thanks, Shooting Stars. See you next time then. Bye-bye. Knight f6, I think so. This is killing. Now, in the first place, I was going to trade queen simply, but I think white is playing for an attack instead. Yeah, this can't be right. No, this can't be right. So I think we checked most of the important moves here. Rook b e7. Looks like there's going to be knight d6 and problems, right? Problems on the sky for black in this case. Queen e7 looks like it's going to be knight f6 again. What did I miss, Sarthak, Princess, and Fianchetto? Why not sacrifice the queen after rook b e7? Why not sacrifice the queen? Yeah, I don't understand completely. Why not sacrifice the queen? You are saying rook takes e1. But you think black survives this? You could try, of course. Yeah, you're entitled to try. But it's looking... It's material. The pawns are equal, right? So I have like a passed pawn on this side. So in this endgame, I don't know what... You wanted to play like that, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Does this pawn fall off in some variation or... No, you're probably taking on e1 and... I'm just guessing now. I'm playing like this and you have to go back and I check you on h5 and I pick up a pawn. Is that okay? Or we need something more explosive? I think this will be enough now. Look at your pawns, exactly. Aha, that's why you start with rook f1. Okay, that's why you start with rook. I don't see the point. I take back and in my opinion, I'm just going... Oh, sorry, mouse flip. I'm just going back to the same variation again, right? No, you're not bad. It's just a difficult position for black. That's what it is. So I think we have checked all the important moves here. So Sharat, maybe you got it right now, but let's be generous and let's give everybody a chance to solve it, okay? And we will talk about your move later. He didn't put the queen there, Sharat, but it's probably okay. Now I'm going to check what you said. You said queen there, and I put the knight, and you go to b6 with check. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I play some move, Sharat, like h4. I play some preparatory move, if you see what I mean. Like h4 or f4, some move like that to put more pressure on you, maybe. I don't know if that's making sense. So we have a few winners here. Alan, you got it right. By the way, Alan, you should not give away the answer in the chat, right? You should do it in this way. Steve, Teddy, Rohan, Sharat. Yeah, don't give away the answers in the chat. Most of you are very well behaved in this, but a few of you like to show that you have seen it, but then you ruin the training for everyone else. So please be respectful to the rest, okay? Queen c7 on move 2, that's queen d5 check now. No, somebody gave away the answer in the chat. Maybe it was not Alan, yeah. Maybe it was somebody else. I'm sorry, I didn't check completely who was. No, it says, yeah, 96. Rook f8, it says in the chat. But maybe it referred to something else. Rook f8, 96, rook f8. Never mind. That's not the important thing. The important thing here is to learn. And here we go. Please, Sharat, you will have to show us, okay? You're the deserved winner. But we had many winners. We had more winners. We had also Steve and Teddy and Alan and Rohan and Erkat and Hyperstrength, Goldfish, Can King, Sam and Jack. But Sharat will show us. But I don't understand these comments. Rook f8 is the solution we shall win. I don't know why we're still talking about the solution in the chat. Anyway, rook f8, so smart move. Now there is only one fork left, you would say. That's 96. And here comes the key move, which Ding saw in advance. You could say threats and counter threats. We save the rook and we install a threat on the queen. So that was not easy for white to get something here. You see, it's short variation, only 2 moves. This is what you could call horizontal calculation, right? You don't need to be like a deep calculator to find this. No, you just have to be very, very good at checking multiple options on the way, right? Scanning the board and so on. Queen e5 was played by Gukesh, having a look at the rook on c7. And what did you play here, Sharat? This was the classical, of course. This was the World Championship. Yeah, the classical games, no? So queen f6, Sharat's first intention was queen g6. I was saying knight f5, but then there is queen b6, Sharat said, and the queen is defending the rook. So, but there is always a difference, right? If he put the queen here, he might have simply wanted to get the queen off the e5 square. If you play queen g6 or king h1, maybe could I play something like that, or it wouldn't matter? Maybe you have some good move here, Sharat. You could even go back with the queen, maybe, if you wanted to. But knight takes b5. Could you play that? Interesting. Maybe that's the answer then. Queen b6, and you would play knight d4, and you're not scared of Jack that the knight gets, pinned, exactly. And the other rook, maybe not now, right? There is queen e6. I think you should use the other rook instead. You should play like this first, right? Or no? Oh, then he can play king h1. Wow, this is really a nasty tactic now. You can't do like this, and you can't do like that. But you can also not play rook d7 because there is queen e6, or no? Or what do you mean? You can't play queen takes d4. If you play queen takes d4 here, I'm taking a rook, right? And I'm the exchange up. So what are we saying? Yeah, I don't think this is not so clear, maybe. So maybe you were right, Jack, who said knight takes b5. That it actually wins a pawn. Any comment on that? Anyone? Rook c5. Like where? Like in this position? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But it feels like white is still in the driver's seat here in this position. I don't know. Can I put my queen on? Oh, maybe to play rook here next turn. Queen e3, and then Sharat wants to take on b2 maybe, and equalize the score. But then there are new tactics now. Knight e6. I don't know. Is that working? Suspicious, if you ask me. Suspicious is the situation. Yeah, maybe black can get. Yeah, if queen b2, that should be knight e6, right, or no? But rook d5 first seems smarter though. But then maybe you can win a pawn with like knight f5, or no? Yeah, I wouldn't play this with if I were black. If I could avoid this. And I mean, also you see my point, right? If you take the pawn, I have knight e7, I was hoping. But if you play queen f6, you really ease in your task now. You have less to calculate and so on. So queen f6 is what Liren played in the game. And it was later drawn. So anyone, what did we learn? What did we learn from here? From this example? Or we didn't learn anything? Horizontal calculation, something like that. Making sure to check all the options, right? We had many moves to look into here. Queen e7, queen f8. At least 5, yeah, elimination, exactly, yes. At least, I would say, at least 5 candidate moves here, right? So that's important. I think I have that also, yeah, in the defense book about elimination. Yeah, this is maybe it was not possible to put this example in the book because it was published when this game was played, I think. But still, it has to do with elimination, of course. Everything else fails and so on. All right, guys, we should probably do a quick requiz just to make sure that everyone understands this example. I will add one more move. It's not a very difficult move, though. You found the chapter. Okay. Great. So what else? We should do something else now. Yeah, this one is very nice. Yeah, we will do a tactical mystery. Okay, today mainly tactics. We can do the endgames next time if you like. Today mainly tactics. Good work by Fianchetto, Rohan, Steve, Jazz, Teddy, Hyper Strength, Alan, Yugoslavian, Freya, and there were more winners here. Yeah, I can't name them all. Fianchetto, please show us. How was the right answer here? The last move was so hard. Yeah, exactly. Very difficult. The process of elimination on the last one. So this is a difficult move. I presume this is the difficult one. Please notice, nobody said this now, but if rook d8, it's not the same thing. Anyone? Why is rook d8 different from rook f8? In which sense? Can anyone explain that very quickly? Without moving the pieces? Aha, exactly, hyper strength. The rook is hit by the knight on. That's why the rook has to go to f8, right? Else you would just say, okay, I move the rook somewhere so I don't get forked. But you have to move the rook to this square so that if white goes for that variation, the knight can't do anything really on that square. Yeah, very tough exercise. Queen e5, and we said that if queen g6, maybe there was knight takes b5, so it's smarter, Fianchetto, to put the queen on queen f6, exactly. And he checked in the game, and the next move was not so difficult. Aha, process of elimination. King h8, and black later on managed to draw. You can see that in the long run, black has a good pawn structure, right? They have a pawn majority and so on, advanced pawn majority. But okay, they need to pull out the fire first. Let's move on. Let's do a tactical mystery, okay? This game, Ding with white, Alexienko with the black pieces. White just played d5 in this position. So, just out of curiosity, which is your choice by, like you would say, instant choice by pattern recognition with black? I'm just curious what you would say. Aha, knight e5. I think for most of us, knight e5 is very natural. It sends the knight to the center. They just played the d5. We're exploiting this instantly. And that's exactly what happened in this game, okay? Let's see if we can do the quiz now. Don't give away the answers in the chat, please. Please be well behaved. Don't give away the answers in the chat. That's bad education, all right? 1 minute 30 to give you a little more time. Is this from the 2021 candidates? No, this was from the World Cup 2019 hyper strength. Yeah, I didn't know this at all where it was played. I'm just telling you what it says in the files. The FIDE World Cup 2019 in Khanty-Mansiysk. Okay, so let's see. If you play that, Erkat and Alan and everyone else, I have to take. You want to take? I will take. I think there is a move rook e8 somewhere, if I remember this one correctly. My bishop will take all the pieces it can. My light square bishop, now in this variation. Well, I need to check this again. I take, you take, I take, you take, I take, you take, I take. Aha, I think I have rook e8 in the end, right? Teddy, congratulations, you got it right. That's exactly what happened in the game. Beautiful, isn't it? Nice combination. Actually, it didn't go that way in the game. We will come to that. We'll come to that. We have only one winner so far. F3. Yeah, if you go F3, I'm hoping I can just play bishop H3. Can't I do that? Or bishop F5? Why can't I just play bishop F5? Bishop F5 is simpler, of course. Yeah. We have only one winner. Incredible. So congratulations to Teddy. You were the only one who got it right. Let's have a look. Let's have Teddy show us the solution first, okay? Please go ahead, Teddy, show us. So this move, it's about move orders now. We have to play this first. All of you who said F4, it's the right idea, but it's the wrong execution. If you play F4 here, just for fun. Anyone? How would black princess? All right, you're on princess. You can show us then with the black pieces. How will black save their skin in this case? After F4. The knight needs a square, so you need to trade. White wanted to take, of course. I can play the white pieces here. This is what everybody wanted to do, right? Those of you who said F4. Aha, princess, don't get nervous. Exactly. And the next move, I think it's kind of important. You need to gain the tempo. Or maybe not. No, not this move. The next move is important. Yeah, this one is easy. Yeah, by pattern or elimination, you would say. Yeah, you can take first also. Sure, you could take first. But then here, yeah, you need to save your bishop, right? And hopefully take something on the way. Any move works. No, I don't believe in that. Only two moves work, right? Yeah, okay, we will come to that. Yeah, bishop takes d2, exactly. So this is the important moment. Exactly. We have this move, and unfortunately, the white queen cannot get to h6 or something, which will happen in the main line, by the way. So in this case, I mean, I can try something if you want, like queen d2. But I think you're the one mating me in this case, and not the opposite, right? You can play for mate here. Well, if you play that, did you calculate properly queen takes d2? I don't understand that. Yeah, probably not at this very moment, no. But you could play a bishop move first, I think. I just hung a bishop. When did I hang the bishop? Sorry, I don't follow. This is the move that I was saying also. Aha. So black is faster in the attack, right? Exactly. White wants to play queen h6, but black can do the same thing and mates white. That's how I understand this. Yeah. So anyway, coming back. No, I thought in this position, to me, it was more natural just to take on g2. But it probably doesn't make a big difference now. But I just saw that if pawn takes, I would take with check and I would play rook e8. But if you wanted to play rook takes first, I don't think that was a difference, right? Or I can't really figure this out. But I can take like this or no? No, it got more complex. Or did I miss something? Now you have this hanging, you have that hanging. Or anyone correct me. What am I missing here? Rook takes f1, but that's not... Oh yeah, right. You could play like that also and play bishop. Good point, good point. Yeah, this is good, of course, for black. Aha. Why not rook takes f1? I'm not following the story. But anyway, as you wish. Okay, so you wanted to take like this. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay, I see. This is you're saying for white. Yeah, I guess in that case I play knight g4 and black is to change up now. This is not convincing for white, is it? Yeah, e6. I mean, you can continue and you hope you can take my queen in some variation or something. But maybe I can avoid that, no? Or I'm hoping I can. There should be a way, right? I have my counterplay also in this position. Yeah, I'm not scared here with black. I'm going to take with the king on f8, so I can take with the queen, not getting pinned, right? Can you give me white? Yeah, I could, of course, but let us try to finish off quickly. I take on f1 and yeah, I take on e6 and you can have your exchange. I don't know. Just to make this, yeah, I play c6 and I play this position. Okay, I'm a pawn up and, or what do you want to say? I'm a pawn up and I have a better position. Yeah, fantastic. I would be angry if I couldn't win this position later. But of course, I mean, look at my knight also. Fantastic knight. So, coming back to business, here we are again. Teddy, would you mind showing us again? Bishop takes first, and also imagine how you cut your calculation, how you reduce your calculation task by playing like Teddy says. Now it's a different story. You'll see why. You'll see why. So we have two variations here. Well, we only have one variation, I think. Aha. Please continue, Teddy. With all ears. You don't want to take, of course, and give me the g4 square. There is a mating idea, exactly. Teddy, what happened? Thank you. So pawn takes, for a human player, the only critical move here is, of course, bishop takes f1, else we're just a piece down.